Hello everyone, welcome to my channel yet again. Keith Bailey coming at you to do NFL Week 8 picks and predictions. Quick recap of what went down in Week 7. Do a slight recap of what went down in total, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about Tennessee for you Titans fans who watch my channel. Now, last week, a lot of chalk, which shows a sense of coming back to the norm, because it's been a very hectic few weeks. Weeks 3 through week 6, a lot of upsets in those particular weeks. A lot of games where it just ended up going the other way. A lot of surprises. Things are going to start to settle down here. You're going to see, obviously, law of averages. With all of these upsets, soon we're going to come back to chalk. And that was the case last week. I went 13-2 overall. By far my best week picking. Now the two games I got wrong. The first one was Rams-Cardinals. Which, Rams, you look good. You have my full attention now. Now, insert a healthy Carson Palmer. I still believe now the Rams win that game, even if Palmer was healthy, but a healthy Carson Palmer would have made that game a lot more respectable, I think. Because when you throw your backup quarterback into a situation where you're playing and you're already losing, then it just fuels the fire for a blowout. That's what happened in Rams-Cardinals. That's what happened with Titans-Texans. That's what happens in these games where you throw backups in the middle of the game when you're already getting blown out. It just snowballs. And your point differential will look a lot worse than you actually are. That's what Tennessee is. I mean, a lot of analysts talk about how Tennessee's got a minus point differential. They're not a very good football team. Yeah, that all came in one game. We lost by 43 points in an anomaly of a game to the Houston Texans. And we were in that game until Mariota got hurt. It was 24-14, remember. Almost going into halftime. I know the Texans scored before halftime, but I mean, still, it was a bit of an anomaly. So, with that being said, Tennessee Cleveland game was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. But to all the Titans fans out there that are calling for head coaches and offensive coordinators to be fired, shut up, please. Okay, take everything with a grain of salt. Okay. 2-3 years ago, we would have taken a 12-9 win over anyone. I don't care what team it was. Okay? Seriously. Now, couple plays go the other way. Mariota hits Delaney, and instead of underthrowing him, Delaney doesn't fumble the ball. It's execution now. It's boiling down to execution, not play calling. And now Tennessee wins that game 19-6, and this isn't even a conversation. Conversation isn't what's wrong with Tennessee's offense. The conversation now becomes Tennessee beats Cleveland by 2 scores going into the bye week. Beats their last 2 teams by 2 scores going into the bye week. So the team just needs to execute. Play calling could be better on our end. Robisky, this is to you. You gotta call better plays, and you need to adapt to Mariota's strength. Granted, he hasn't been healthy, but still, getting our alleged number one receiver back from injury after the bye week should help a lot. And the bye week is coming at a very good time right now. But seriously, y'all Tennessee Titans fans need to relax, because bottom line, we're 4-3, and this is our best start since 2011. And after our bye week, we get 2 straight games against teams we should beat. And that is the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. And we're in the first place in the division, and we will be in first place in the division no matter what happens with the Texans this week. Even though Houston beat us, Houston still hasn't played more than 2 divisional games. Tennessee's 2-1 mark is better than their 1-1 mark. Therefore, we're going to keep this division lead at least through the bye week. So you guys need to relax. You guys need to chill out. Stay cool. It's a long season. It's a week to week season. First off, I mean, everything is week to week in this league, and the fact that some of you guys don't know that blows my mind. You can look like a Super Bowl contender one week, and you could look like crap the next. It's called the National Football League. Look at the Carolina Panthers. Need I say more? You go into New England and you beat the Patriots, you'll lose to the Chicago Bears. Come on. All right, now we're gonna get to the picks. I am 68 and 38 on the season, which is tied for the best mark among all NFL analysts. That's all. I think it's over 130 of them on PickWatch. You could check that website out. It's an amazing website. I'm not sure how I'm doing in comparison to the rest of the NFL prognosticators. On ESPN, or not ESPN, Yahoo, I've missed some of my picks. Some of my Thursday night picks I never got in on time. So my record on Yahoo picks does not reflect what I actually am in terms of what I've kept track of since the season started. Now this week, the Thursday night game is going to be ugly. It's the Dolphins at the Ravens, and two teams that are so banged up it's not even funny. And I think the Baltimore Ravens, even though they're a little more banged up, I think the Ravens are going to get the win here, simply because Miami, you're good, but I don't know if Matt Moore against the Ravens defense, or let alone the Dolphins going on a 4-game winning streak and ending up being 5-2. I just don't foresee that. I don't foresee a 3-5 Ravens team and a 5-2 Dolphins team. It seems like 4-4 Ravens and 4-3 Dolphins seems to make a lot more sense, but who knows? It's been a crazy year. For all I know, I could be way out of left field. So that's my Thursday night pick. I'm picking the Baltimore Ravens to beat the Miami Dolphins here in this game, 20-15. It's going to be that type of game. Next up, we got the Vikings at the Browns. I'm putting Minnesota on upset alert. I'm not saying they're going to beat the Browns, but after further review, I gotta get comfortable. That's after further review. Okay, that's better. After further review, the Cleveland Browns have a very good defense. Very good defense. Probably one of the better front sevens in the league. And I witnessed that firsthand. Minnesota should get this win here. But Cleveland, especially in Cleveland, the Browns don't go away. And they've lost 4 of their 7 games by 3 points. So I think Cleveland keeps it close, and I don't think the Vikings win by a lot. I think the Vikings take this game 24-17 over Cleveland. I know it's hard to foresee the Browns the Browns scoring 17 points against this Vikings defense. Crazier things have happened, but Minnesota, I think it's the win. Next up, we have a good one. Raiders at the Bills. I'm picking the Raiders, and I'm picking them competently. The reason I'm picking them is because the Bills, albeit them being 3-0 at home, I don't know if Buffalo gets to 4-0 at home. They're playing a desperate Raiders team that season opening in the AFC West with them beating Kansas City. And I think the Oakland Raiders take control of that opening, and they go into Buffalo and give the Bills their first loss at home. It's going to be a close game. We're going to go 28-24, Raiders over Bills. It should be that kind of game. The Bills, you're a good football team right now, but nobody's going to take you seriously until you beat the Patriots. That's just the bottom line. 2008, you started 5-1. 2011, you started 5-2. Last year, you started like 4-2 or something. And every single one of those years, you ended up just sucking for the rest of the year. So you guys need some staying power before anyone decides to take you seriously. This is a good chance to prove whether or not you have that staying power, is playing at home against a team that made the playoffs last year that was projected to go to the Super Bowl this year by some, and giving them a loss in a situation where they're almost desperate for a win. Now, next game we have the Colts at the Bengals. Cincinnati should win. It's this Colts team is bad. Their 2 wins have come against the 2 winless teams in the league, which is a testament to how, I guess, overall how bad the Niners and Browns are. Indianapolis, though, not that good. I think you're gonna lose this game 24-10. They need Andrew Luck back because Andrew Luck makes this team go. Jacoby Brissett, he's not a franchise guy. I know there was talk that he could be. He's just not. Bengals get the win. Next up, we have the Chargers at the Patriots. I'm interested, and I want to watch. With Tennessee on their bye this week, this might be the game I sit down and watch. Chargers at Patriots. Because for some reason, it always seems like a fun game when these two teams get together. And the Chargers are on a 3-game winning streak, and the Patriots coming off a good Sunday night football game. And they've even though they did beat the Falcons, they're still vulnerable this year. So I'm picking the Patriots. I am going to pick the Patriots to win this game. I'm going to pick them to win 24-22 over the Chargers. Los Angeles is just, they're close. I don't think they get 4 in a row though. 3-5 seems about right for them right now. Because let's face it, do we see a 4-3 Patriots team? I don't. Not with Tom Brady playing the way he is this year. Next game, Chicago Bears at the New Orleans Saints. Saints defense has been good, which is something I never thought would be said in the same sentence. The New Orleans Saints will beat the Chicago Bears handily, I think. The Bears are on a 2-game winning streak, and they have been impressive during this 2-game winning streak. They've been doing it with defense, though, and they've been doing it against offenses like the Ravens and inconsistent offenses like the Panthers. The Saints have a much better offense than those two teams, and the New Orleans Saints should win this game 31 to, we'll give the Bears 17. Because let's face it, the Bears offense, even though they've won their last 2 games, has been putrid over the last 2 games. The only reason the Bears have won their last 2 games are because of returns on special teams and defensive touchdowns. That's all the Bears have been good for on this 2-game winning streak, because Mitchell Trubisky, I believe in his last 2 games, has 10 total completions or something like that. They have not been doing this with their offense, and the Saints have an offense. So Saints win. Next game, we have the Falcons at the Jets. This is a gut check game for the Atlanta Falcons. They're on a 3-game losing streak, and now they're traveling to New York to play a Jets team that is a lot better than people thought they would be this 7 games into the year. It is Matt Ryan, the MVP of the league, against Josh McCown, the journeyman who's played for about half the league. I think it's going to be an interesting game, to be honest with you. I think Atlanta, I say they win 34-24 over the Jets. Jets won't go quietly, but Atlanta, this team isn't losing 4. They're too talented of a football team to lose 4 straight games. Atlanta Falcons get the win, especially considering the Atlanta Falcons now, I believe, have played every single team in the AFC East. New England, the Jets, Bills, Patriots. Yeah. I think the Falcons just literally blew through the entire AFC East. And they're 0-3 against the AFC East. That's funny. So, Atlanta, that makes more sense now for Atlanta to win this game. Only because the Atlanta Falcons going 0-4 against the AFC East, I just don't see that happening. 1-3 sounds about right, not 0-4. That's too weird for them to be 0-4 in the AFC, but 3-0 in the NFC. So Atlanta wins. Next up, we have the 49ers at the Eagles. Give me a break. The 49ers, I thought you guys were actually a decent team. I know you lost a lot of close games. Last week you proved though that you're so far out of the league in terms of what you're capable of doing. Philadelphia should get the win here easily. We're talking a 36-17 type of game. The Eagles should blow this team out of the water. And this is a big game for Philly, honestly. And if you're an Eagles fan, you might be a little nervous going into this one. Why? Because the true mark of a team is taking care of business when they have to take care of business against the inferior. That's the case here. The Eagles can't be caught sleeping in the NFL, because getting caught sleeping in the NFL will get you 12-9 overtime wins against the worst team in the league. That's what will happen. It's a paper-thin league here, and as bad as the 49ers were last week, they could come out and rip it against the Eagles. You never know. So Philadelphia, I believe, gets the win here because I think they're a good enough team to understand the threat of a trap game. So Philly wins. Next up, we have the Panthers at the Bucks. This game could go either way. I'm enticed to take the Panthers, though. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Panthers. I don't know. I have a feeling about this one. I think Carolina's offense gets it together a little bit. The Buccaneers, man, this team has a lot of talent on paper, but they just can't put it together. They're 2-4. They're going backwards. Jameis Winston, you can't blame it all on him. I'll admit that. But this Buccaneers team, it's going backwards. And I think I see, and this is in regards to Winston, officially now, Marcus Mariota has a better win percentage than Jameis Winston. Winston is 17-21 as a starter. Mariota is 15-18. This close together. By 0.15 or something. Mariota has a better win percentage than Jameis Winston now. This is a game the Bucks need to have. But I think the Panthers pull the wool over their eyes because the Carolina Panthers are the NFC's version of Jekyll and Hyde, and they've been hiding for about 2 weeks now, which means they're about to come out and play. So Carolina should get the win. I believe at least gets the win over Tampa. We'll say 23-20. It'll be close. Houston Texans at Seattle Seahawks. Oh boy. If there was ever a game for the Houston Texans to prove to the NFL that they are for real, take a rookie quarterback and win in Seattle, okay? Guess what? I don't think it's going to happen. Houston Texans in Seattle playing with a rookie quarterback. I don't care what Deshaun Watson's records are that he's thrown for in terms of touchdowns or whatever. I don't care. The fact of the matter is he's still a rookie quarterback, and now teams are going to start to get some tape on this kid. So, therefore, I think Seattle, especially at home, gets the win. And the Houston's defense is depleted. J.J. Watt, I mean, it sucks, but I think Seattle gets the win. We'll go 26-13 over Houston. I think Seattle's defense is just too good for Watson to figure out. I don't think the Texans have what it takes to go into Seattle and get the win. I don't know if a lot of teams have what it takes to go into Seattle and get the win outside Arizona Cardinals with a healthy Carson Palmer, to be quite frank. Because the Seattle Seahawks at home are a very, very good football team. On the road, they're not the same. If Tennessee played in Seattle in Week 3, there's no snowball's chance in hell I'm picking Tennessee to win that game. I picked them at home because they were at home. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. Playing in Seattle is a whole different monster. You're playing a whole different team at that point. So Seattle gets the win here. Cowboys at Redskins. Both of these teams are 3-3. And with the Eagles playing an easy game against the Niners, this seems to be a must-win because you can't drop to 3-4 and be looking up at a team that is 7-1. You just can't, because if whoever loses this game is out of the running for the NFC East officially. I said in my power rankings that the Redskins can kiss the East goodbye. I mean, there's an outside chance. That's not realistic, though. The Eagles are going to run away with this division unless the Cowboys can string together some wins. I don't have much faith in the Redskins because this team has issues right now. I know they look good against the Raiders, but it's not like the Raiders have proven to be world beaters so far this year. So Dallas, I think, gets the win here in Washington, 29-26 over the Redskins. Next game, Steelers at Lions. I honestly have a bad feeling about this game for Detroit. I don't know, something's telling me that the Steelers are going to blow the doors off of the Lions, which stinks because I like Detroit, and I think it would be awesome to see the Lions win this game. Because this is a game where Detroit would say, hey, we're still relevant in the NFC North, even though Aaron Rodgers is out for the season, and we're going to give Minnesota a hell of a fight. I just have a eerie feeling about this game, though. I'm sensing like a 42-20 type of performance by the Steelers. And that's not to say Detroit is a bad football team. That's more so a testament to how inconsistent the Steelers play. Because the Steelers can lose to the bad teams. Oh, well, they're proclaimed bad teams in the league. They'll lose to them. But the Pittsburgh Steelers, when they turn it on, that team turns it on. And when they get going, it's tough to stop them. And the Steelers have seemed like they're getting going here in the last couple of weeks. And now they get a Detroit Lions team. Although they're off a bye, I don't know. It's a weird feeling. You guys know that feeling as football fans, as predictors. It's that gut feeling you have where something's gonna go some certain way. So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the Steelers are gonna blow out the Lions 42-20. Next up, we have a Broncos at Chiefs matchup in a game the Kansas City Chiefs will win. Because Denver, you guys aren't relevant anymore. Okay, maybe that's too much of a stretch to say, but your offense needs to show some life. 3 points in the last 2 games? Are you kidding me? That's terrible. That is so awful. And now you're getting Kansas City in Kansas City on a 2-game losing streak. That's yeah, that's a recipe for disaster. Kansas City will not drop 3 straight games. They're too good of a football team to drop 3 straight games. Kansas City gets to 6-2. Best record in the AFC. Right? Who else has 5-2 in the AFC? Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh, yep. Pittsburgh and New England actually should be right there with Kansas City. So Kansas City gets the win here, 31-14 over Denver. I don't think it'll be a pretty game. But those are my picks. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys all next time.